Okay, so this is the MainStay Walmart wall clock. And you can find this in the home section at Walmart. They're $3.88, so they are a very good price. And then we're going to be redoing this and upselling it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to turn over your box. There are going to be, I already removed one. They're going to be two little twisty screw tabs that you'll need to remove. So you're going to need a small Phillips head screwdriver. And as I mentioned, I went ahead and removed the first one. I'm going to go ahead and remove the second one from the back of the box, and then we'll take the clock out so that we can be able to. So we won't actually need these. We can go ahead and put those over to the side. Oh, and then my clock just kind of comes right out. Here's some little instructions. I like to keep that because once I'm done designing the clock, I'm going to be sticking it back into the box. And I think that I may decorate the box a little bit or cover it up, put some decorative paper or something. I haven't really decided yet. But I am going to be putting it back into the box because I know that this will fit the clock. Okay, so then this is the clock. These come with a couple of different colors. So they're going to come in black, white, silver, and gold. I chose the black. And this is the clock face that I'm going to be inserting into my clock. So the image I got off of Pinterest. And I also got the clock numbers off of the internet as well. And what I did is I Googled clock face template and searched on Google. And also I found some clock face templates in Pinterest as well. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to turn this over. And we're going to be removing these screws from around the back so that we can take this plate off and then insert our graphic. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and using the same Phillips head screwdriver, I'm going to remove these screws and I'll be back. Okay, so making sure that I've removed all the screws. Now this one little screw over here on the right didn't want to come out, but that's okay. As long as I don't lose it, I'm fine with that. And then the remainder screws, I just put in this little plastic cup. I usually get these little condiment cups from the dollar store. They're great for mixing epoxy, glitter, and small bits of paint. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove this back. Like so. And then this is the cover and the glass. I'm going to set that and the screws over to the side. So now what we're going to be doing is removing the clock's arms. And you have to be very careful because these pieces are very delicate. So I just am going to gently pull these pieces apart. And let me set up my tripod so I can go ahead and have a free hand. One moment. Okay, so that's much better. Let me just adjust that a bit. Okay, so here is our clock and I'm going to disassemble it. So we already have our glass and cover and then our screws over here on the side. And then very gently, I'm going to try and do this with my left hand so you can see. Just pull these pieces apart. Keep them in order. So this is the second hand. That goes back on last. Then, let's see. And again, you don't want to bend them too much. These both came off at the same time. But the second hand is going to go and then the hour hand. Okay, so it's going to go when we put it back together in reverse order. So when we put it back together, what we're going to do is we're going to have our hand go first, then the minute hand, and then the second hand goes last. Okay, so some people go and remove this piece. I don't worry about that. We're going to cover that with our graphic. So I'll show you how I made this graphic, and I did it in Word. Reason that I didn't do it in Cricut is because of the print and cut limitations in Cricut. So the clock face is about 7.25 in diameter. So on Cricut, the limitation is 6.75 by 9.25. So we would have had a border, like about a 1/2 inch border around the image that we would have had to cover up with cardstock or something else so that it didn't show. However you choose to do it, it's completely up to you. There's no wrong way. So I didn't put a little circle in the middle of my clock face on my Word doc. So what I'm going to do is just taking a pen, I'm going to mark where that little thing is. Okay, so I just put a very, very tiny dot. I don't know if you can see it, just a very, very tiny dot where the middle is going to be. And then just sort of bending it a little bit, not too much. I'm going to make a hole there so that I can push that, punch that through. So I'm not going to use my hole punch. I'm just going to use these scissors and cut a little snip there in the middle. And I'm going to bend it the other way just a little bit so that I can make another little snip. So it's kind of going to be like a little cross. And okay. There. And then I kind of just pushed it through a little bit. Now, I am going to put some adhesive on the back of the paper because I don't want it to lift up while it's in here. So this is my Recollections tape runner that I got from Hobby Lobby, I believe it was. Thought the design was really cute. I'm not going to put too much. I'm just going to go around a little bit on the outside and then put a couple in the middle. I don't have to do too much. Alright. And then we're going to put that back, making sure my image, the 12 is up at top. And find that center again. There we go. And then I'm just going to run my fingers around so that double-sided tape sticks. And you can do Mod Podge or, you know, whatever you like. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. So this isn't going to be something that I'm going to sell right out the box. You know, I perfected a little bit, but I just want to show you where we at so far. And I really, really love the graphic that I chose. It's a lot of color. Now, the actual hands that I chose, I don't know if you can see them, but I chose to put the numbers in a similar color to what is in the picture. So the numbers don't stand out a whole lot, but they are there. Okay, and you just need to insert a battery on the back in order for it to work, but we're going to go ahead and assemble our hands again. So remembering the order in which we took them off, we're going to do the reverse in putting them back on. So that means the first hand to go on is going to be the hour hand, and we're just going to put that on and push it down in place. Alright. Then next is going to be our second hand, and make sure when you're putting them on, you know, one side is unfinished and one side has the color, so you're making sure that you're putting it on with the color facing up. Okay, so then there we have our hour hand and our minute hand, and now the last but not least is going to be the second hand. And the second hand has like a little cap on it, so it's going to finish it off and cover up that white in the middle. So you're not going to see that white showing. Alright, and then I have my second hand. Alright, and then now we're going to reassemble it into the frame. Being careful to line it up to where the holes are. We're going to be putting our screws back in. Okay. I'm going to attempt to tighten this one back up first, the one that didn't want to come all the way out. And then we can take our other screws and add them back in. So I know the tutorial is kind of a little backwards because I'm going to be showing you how I did the graphic at the end. But the reason I did that is because there are a lot of different options in terms of how you're going to design. Some people use Photoshop, some people use Word. A woman in my craft group online says she used Canva to design her clock face. So you know, it really is up to you what programs you have available. You don't have to go and purchase anything. Anything that you have would be just fine. You just want to make sure that you can edit your photo, and you're not going to be able to do it in Cricut with a regular print and cut. If you're savvy enough and you know how to trick the Cricut into doing a bigger image, then, you know, feel free. But it was just much easier for me to do in Word. I attempted to do it in Photoshop, but I am not that good in Photoshop yet. So, yeah, I ended up giving up and going into Word. Okay, so here I have the finished clock. And only thing we have to do is to put the battery in it, and I think I may have. Let me just check my drawer, because I usually do. Ta-da! Keep a battery. So there's a lever on the back in which you would adjust the time. I'm just going to insert this AA battery, if I can get it to go in. Having a little problem with that. Okay, there we go. if you can see that, but it's working. It's getting some glare from my cell phone, but we are good to go. Now, looks like one of the screws didn't go all the way in, so I'm going to go ahead and put that screw back in. But now that we have the clock completed, I'm going to show you how I did my design in Word. But again, you can use any software that you have to do your design in. Okay. I can also show you how to do it in Cricut Design Space and then just go ahead and transfer it over to Word. So stay tuned to learn how I did the actual graphic for this. Alrighty, so the last portion of the tutorial is just showing you how I formatted my clock face in Word. Again, you have options, whatever you feel works best for you. So really quickly going over this, what I did is I hit Insert, Shapes, Oval, and then I created a basic oval shape. Now I need to make sure that this is going to be 7.25 in diameter. So going over here to the format field, I'm going to type in 7.25 to make this a perfect circle and hit OK. Now we need to add our graphic. So we're going to, making sure the format is still selected, hit Shape Fill, and then I go down a picture. And I got a picture offline. So I searched for melanin art and hit search. And then I unchecked the Creative Commons box and it gave me much more selections than what I had previously. In an effort to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and select one of these images and hit insert. And you notice it's formatted everything for me. I don't have to cut and slice or do any more editing. It's a perfect circle. It's the exact size I need, and the picture sits perfectly in the middle. The only other thing left to do would be to insert your clock face. So I found a clock face by going to Chrome and then typing in clock face or clock template. I selected a PNG file, which would be one of these that has the transparent background. And then I copy and pasted the PNG file into my Word doc and place that on top of my image. Once I had that, the color and size that I wanted, then I went ahead and hit the print button. And then I hand cut that circle out so that I could apply it to my clock face. So really simple and easy. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. I do want to take the time to thank everyone for joining me, for watching these videos, and for subscribing to my channel. It really means a lot. And if there's any other videos that you would like to see in the future, drop a line and let me know. Thank you again for joining me on A Crafty Mess. This is Genoa, over and out. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.